On your homepage, the most important thing you have is the text that welcomes the guest. Every homepage needs to have a welcome to the guest. You want to convey the enthusiasm and personality that you have in your club. The entire idea here is to engage the guest to the point that they want to find out more information and eventually come and visit your club. Pictures are so important. They really show the personality of your club. You want to have a group picture, if you can, on your homepage, so it's one of the first things that people see. It shows the diverse group that you likely have, and people can really connect with that. Quality pictures are so important. Don't allow poor quality pictures to be uploaded on your website. It doesn't help you. It doesn't look good. There's no reason now with technology, and even phone cameras for that matter, there's no reason to not have fantastic pictures on your site. Make sure all the pictures you have up there are good quality pictures. When it comes to the stock pictures, those come with the Toastmasters template. I wouldn't use those. They are obviously stage pictures. They look like they're out of a catalog, and they don't convey anything about your club. They're really not useful to you. So once you set your website up, replace those with actual pictures of your members. The most engaging contact pages have at least 2 officers' names and phone numbers there. So rather than a guest go there and have to input information and wait to be contacted, give them the opportunity to reach out to you right away. If someone is interested in your club, don't you want the opportunity to engage them immediately versus waiting for the contact page to come through? Have names and phone numbers there. It makes a big difference, and people are much more likely to call and talk to an actual person. Track information is important. People have heard of Toastmasters, but they really don't know what we do. Have information on the communication and leadership tracks. Basically explain what they are. Don't use any of the jargon. Don't use any of the acronyms that we have, because people don't understand those. In plain English, explain what the idea is behind the communication leadership tracks and what we're trying to accomplish. It's very important. There is text available to use on those pages, and I recommend create a page on your site for each of those tracks that fully explains what they are to people so they understand what the program's all about. Distinguished Club Program. This is the most important thing that we do. We always talk about this. It's how we track everything. Now, clubs will, rightly so, will advertise if they've been a President's Distinguished or a Select Distinguished Club. But keep in mind that a guest does not know what that means. Although it sounds like it must be good, they really don't know what that means. Give an overview of the DCP here, and what you want to do is make sure they understand that this is through member achievement. So as members attain education levels, it goes to the club's overall achievement, and that's how we track things. It really gives credibility if they know that there is a program where we actually track the growth. That way we're showing that we're committed to the members achieving education levels. The most effective way to engage our guests is with our Meet Our Members page. It's the most important page on the website. I mean, think about it. People find our clubs via search, and they typically do it within a radius that's either close to their work or their home. So they're local searches. So when they come to our site and they don't know anything about Toastmasters and they see a page that says Meet Our Members, they are absolutely going to click on that page. And they're going to do it for 2 reasons. Number one, they're wondering what types of people are involved in this organization, and number 2, they want to see if they know anybody. They absolutely will click on that page. Studies show that 60% of web traffic is spent on the About Us or About Me pages of websites. People want to know who is behind the website. It's so important. When it comes to Meet Our Members, you've got to have terrific headshot pictures. They don't have to be professionally done, but a headshot so they see the member, a bio, and social media links if the person uses those too. It really fleshes the site out. One thing that's very important and can be confusing for people sometimes, they think if they click for their profile to be public, that means that everyone can see all their information. And in the Toastmasters interface, that's not what it is. The public profile just means if someone finds the club's website and they click on Meet Our Members, they will be able to view the member's picture and the bio and their social media links. Their email and phone number are not available. They're only still available through member login. So make sure you make that clear to people so they won't be hesitant. Focus on the guest. When you're putting together your homepage welcome and the text and the pictures and whatever you're going to use there, you need to really be focusing on the guest. What's in it for them? What can they accomplish by coming and joining Toastmasters? What do we do to help our members achieve whatever their goals may be? Make sure you highlight that the clubs have a supportive environment. We know that they do, but that's not an assumption that people will make necessarily when they first encounter our site. So share that with them, that we do all this in the context of a supportive environment. It's all about a club visit. Your website is trying to do one thing and one thing only, is to get them to come and visit the club. You're not trying to teach them about Toastmasters history or any of these other things. You're not trying to give them all this information on public speaking in general. That's not what it's designed to do. You were trying to accomplish one thing, engage them to the point that they will come and visit the club. Because you have to know that once they visit, everything's going to take care of itself. You've got to get them in the door. Engage the guest to the point that they come and visit the club is your number one priority with your website. If you invite them, they will come. You absolutely must put a specific invitation on your page. It can be on your home page, on the directions page, on the contact us page, as many pages as you want, but specifically invite them to come and join the club. It's amazing how many clubs don't do this piece. Extend an invitation to them so they can come and join the club. Short, sweet, and to the point. No jargon. Oh, what does that mean? We have really odd terms in Toastmasters. Counter, Table Topics Master, Grammarian. People are like, what in the world? Grammarian? If people don't have great grammar, that might scare them away right there. Don't use all of our terms and our acronyms and things on your website because people don't understand what that is, and that can really serve to confuse them. Now, some people think, well, we'll put all those things there and then we'll put a description beside them. You're putting the cart before the horse. You haven't engaged the guest to the point to actually come and visit your club, but you're trying to fully explain what everything means. It's unnecessary. Get rid of the jargon and just focus on plain English, straightforward text, words, and phrases so they can have an understanding of what the program's all about. Don't oversell. Unfortunately, we do this too much. We take the 90-year history of Toastmasters, we talk about the tens of thousands of clubs and members all over the world, and we plaster that all over our website. And again, they don't care about that. That's not what they came here for, and it's not going to help you get them to come and visit your club. That information does not need to be on your site in a way that tries to engage the guests. And another thing I have to say, and some people take offense to this, but it has to be said, a guest could care less who the club officers are because they don't know what it means. In so many clubs, one of the first things you see when you hit their site is a list of the officers. Why? How is that supposed to engage the guest? It doesn't matter. Don't put that information there. Make sure that you take that valuable real estate and everything there is geared toward engaging that guest and not giving them unnecessary information that frankly they don't know what it means anyway. Unnecessary text in your template. So here's some examples of things that I see that really you can eliminate. Up on the banner where you have the name of the club, excessive words. It'll be such and such Toastmasters Club. The word club doesn't need to be there. It's, Joe's Toastmasters. That's all that's necessary. The club number on the banner is unnecessary. The city where it's located doesn't matter. Again, remember, in the majority of cases, this is a local search. They already know what city you're in because they plugged in the city that they're looking for. You got to get that information off of there, and here's why. You want to streamline that page as much as possible. The more clutter that's on there, the more distractions. You want to make sure that your well-crafted message that is engaging that guest is front and center, and things that are unnecessary you get rid of so they don't detract from that. Another thing I really will share, and this is a point of contention with a lot of people, but I firmly believe that no dues information whatsoever should be on your website for a guest to see. And people say, well, people want to know what it's going to cost. No, they don't. People have an unusual way of deciding they can afford things that they decide they want. They're not going to join your club for the price of the membership because they don't know what it means. They don't know what $36 or whatever it is buys you. You have to establish the credibility and the value of the club. It's not necessary to share dues information. And then some of the clubs that do it, it's so convoluted with the prorate and everything else, it just serves to confuse people. And additionally, I don't know the last time you looked at the membership application, but if you haven't looked at one in a while, go look at it. For a person who's never seen it before, It is vastly confusing. I would suggest everyone make this commitment right now that you will never put a membership application in anybody's hand unless you are an officer. An officer needs to hand them that application so they can answer any questions and make sure they're perfectly clear on what they're supposed to do. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, well, yes, Joe just wanted to join. He gave us his application, but his check was for the wrong amount. Why? Because an officer didn't hand that to Joe and fully explain and answer any questions to make sure it was right. It's too important to leave it to chance. Don't put the application on the website. It's unnecessary. Color scheme. Now there are 3 different color schemes you can use in a Toastmasters site. My preference is the white background, but there are 3 different schemes. You need to have the consistent theme throughout the website. I cannot encourage you enough to resist the urge to fill different windows with odd colors. It is so distracting. The template is set to be streamlined. That's what it's supposed to do. And remember, everything there is supposed to be about engaging the guest and getting them to visit the club. And distracting colors don't do that. If the text in that particular window is crafted well enough and the images that you have in the pictures are of good enough quality, you don't need to jazz it up with colors that could potentially distract somebody. Focus on making sure that the text and the images are what they need to be to engage the guest properly, and eliminate all the odd colors because it just doesn't help your cause and it doesn't serve to engage the guest at all. When you have a blog or what's new at our club or a list of your accolades and awards and so on, and someone clicks on it and it hasn't been updated in 2 and 3 years, and believe me, there are multiples of clubs that's their reality as we speak right now, it screams an active club. People say, well, they haven't done anything since 2013. Why would I want to go there? So you have a decision to make as officers of your club. If you're going to have a component like a blog or an awards site or what's new, is someone committed to updating that on a regular basis? Because if they're not, I strongly suggest you just eliminate it. And honestly, I suggest you eliminate it anyway. If you're going to update it, you can do it, but that doesn't necessarily serve to engage the guest as much as talking about our program, what our program can do for them, and the results it will have for them if they become a member. That should really be the primary focus. If you're going to do those supplemental things, you've absolutely got to keep it updated. Otherwise, it looks like you're not an active club. Old content's just not user-friendly. Nobody wants to read all that. And maybe even if you want to do it eventually, for the time being, take them down, focus on these other areas, and maybe that's something you can go back and add at a later time.